Look at something called the order of operations. You may know this as Pemdas. More later on what that stands for. The order of operations helps us simplify math expressions like these that have more than one operation in them, such as a times and an exponent in the same problem, or parentheses, or, or subtraction and multiplication in the same problem. So the question that the order of operations tells us is, what do we do first when simplifying, and then what do we do next, and so on. The order of operations is as follows. Do whatever's in your parentheses first, and once you're done with that, do any exponents if you have them. Once you're done with that, do multiplication, and once you're done with that, do division, although there's an exception for division we'll talk about in a minute. And after division, do your addition and subtraction. And this is where the acronym PEMDAS comes from. The acronym can be a little bit misleading, especially at the high school or college level, for a couple of reasons. First of all, the division that you see here is not really some symbol that we use after middle school. And so we're not going to worry too much about the division here. And now you'll notice this third problem we're going to do has a fraction bar in it. That is a division, but it's not the fourth step in the order of operations. We'll talk more about that later. Furthermore, the addition and subtraction, we generally think of those as the same operation, which we call combining. So while PEMDAS isn't technically wrong, a better model for high school and college classes is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and then combining. And this will essentially take you through any order of operations problem in algebra or higher. Let's take a look at our first example. According to the order of operations, we have to do what's inside of the parentheses first. -7 plus 2 combines together to make -5. And now that I've done what's in my parentheses, I would do exponents next if I had any, which I don't, which leads me to my multiplication problem, -3 times -5. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. So this expression has a value of 15. Here's our second example. In this problem, we have subtraction, multiplication, and exponents. So according to the order of operations, exponents come first. 5 squared, or 5 times 5, is 25. Now that exponents are done, I'll move on to my multiplication. 2 times 25 is 50. And finally, 40 minus 50 combines to make -10, thus finishing the value of this expression. And here's our third and final problem here. You'll notice we have addition, subtraction, and division. But that division there is a fraction bar, and that's not something that is in the letters of PEMDAS. It's definitely not the division D in PEMDAS. What this division is telling us to do is to work out the top and bottom as if they were separate problems, and then do the division. That's the expected order of operations when it comes to a fraction bar division. 6 plus 4 is 10. 7 minus 5 is 2. And now that I've done the top and bottom of the fraction separately, I can now do the division. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Thus completing this problem.